Welcome to the JJ's DEclutter podcast, where we tackle the mess and stress to make space for what truly matters. I'm Janis, here with Julie, and together we're sharing our best tips, tricks, and a little humor to help you declutter your home, mind, and life. Whether it's procrastination or piles of stuff, we're here to help you make real progress. Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome back to the JJ's DEclutter and Decluttering with the JJ's podcast. So we are having a magazine moments episode today. I'm Julie.
And I'm Janis.
And we are going to talk about the chair. You all know it as the chair of doom. But it actually could be just about any piece of furniture. It's just that the most used piece of furniture that we use as a landing spot for clothing is a chair. So this is from Martha Stewart from May 4th of this year, 2026. And she's talking about how to break the habit of piling clothes and bags on furniture. So Janis and I are going to weigh in on what Martha has to say.
I think
So
Martha
take it
has
away, Janis.
Martha has experts with her, and they're talking about how, your chair is not a closet. But beyond that, they are also talking about how people tend to put clothes near the entryway. They leave them in the bedroom or, God forbid, on the kitchen island. Basically, they're talking about where all of your family's jackets and purses and backpacks get dumped whenever somebody comes through the door and returns home. What they say in the article is that if things are piling up, it means one of two things. The item doesn't have a home, or the storage is too high friction. And by high friction, that means that it's too hard for you to put it where it's supposed to go. Either, like, say your closet's too overstuffed, or something's supposed to go into the drawer and it just never gets there. So they have a bunch of rules of thumb in order to prevent that from happening. So Julie, you want to talk about the first one?
Sure. First off, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you give everything a home. Because, and as Janis mentioned, there's times that your closet's just too full. And so when you take something off at the end of the day and you think, oh, you know what, I can wear this one more time, you put it on the chair instead of putting it away. So as long as everything has a home, then it's up to you. And this is from me. It's up to you to make sure it goes back to that home. And it takes practice. It really does. But anyway, a place for everything and everything in its place it's not an unachievable ideal. It just takes discipline and consistent action and small resets on a regular basis, which is what we're always talking about, doing a small doable dose, because you don't want your clutter to start accumulating on the furniture, on the floors, on every flat surface in your home. If everything has an actual designated home, then people have the chance to start practicing putting things away rather than tossing them on the chair or whatever without a thought.
In theory.
In theory.
So the next rule of thumb is clear the closets and drawers. So for temporary zones like designated hooks or baskets or bins, those are all useful toys. But when you are clearing out and updating your closet and drawers, if you actually declutter them, you will get back space. And if it's easier to put things back where they belong, it's going to make you feel happy that your items are organized and you have a specific zone for them, which I do agree with. So declutter your closets and drawers.
There you go. The next rule of thumb is use labels. And honestly, I used to think, oh, give me a break. And then I started choosing labels. Oh, wow, did I break? It was awesome because there's not just one person living in this house. So once I started labeling things, it made it easier for both of us to see where things went, and that handsome husband's things belong over here and my things belong over there. And so it's easier to get them towards where they belong. But labeling, it makes it so much easier just to put things away. It just, when you have a clearly labeled bin or shelves for items that you use all the time, um, they're visual clues that make it obvious where these things do belong. And so other people in the house are able to put things back where they belong, because there's no excuse for saying, oh, I didn't see the label. It said put the blender here, and I guess that is where I got the blender from, isn't it? Anyway, that's label usage is really, really good. And so I do highly suggest it. They don't have to be fancy labels. You can get a fancy label maker, or you can just do masking tape and a Sharpie, or, you know, whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be
Perfect.
a bother. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it also doesn't have to be a bother. It's just something really quick. It's like when you're done doing your laundry and you take all the laundry to, up to the bedrooms, and you see, oh gosh, my mother's socks belong in this drawer. I know exactly. I can just put them away. I don't even have to wake her up from a nap. So anyway, so
So,
moving on.
another rule of thumb is incorporate a weekly reset, because when you've got mounds of clothing and bags and things like that, taking them apart is hard. So, and it can be stressful, and so you don't want to do it. And it just sits there, and the pile gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So, by having a weekly reset, they're recommending that you have the whole family putting their stuff away during this reset, which is a really good idea. So either, I don't know, Sunday, actually, I would probably do it Friday night or Saturday morning. So, well, I don't know. Saturday mornings can be hard because of soccer games. But if you do it at the same time every week, and you set your timer and you say, okay, we're all going to do our weekly reset, give them a bucket and have them basically do like a flat surface scramble of all of their stuff that they put into their bin, and then they have to put it away where it belongs, not just leave it in the bin. But
Right.
they do say that it's really important that each person contributes to the household, and each person should take responsibility for their own things, which I wholeheartedly agree, because not only are you teaching them how to do the flat surface scramble, but you're teaching them that they are not, you're not the maid. They need to take responsibility for their own things too. And that will build habits. So when they're older and they have their own apartment, or they're in a dorm, that they will think, I should be putting my stuff away because I don't like the way this looks.
Right. Right. And it's the weekly reset is a really easy thing to get your little ones in on, because if you just hand them a basket and tell them, okay, I want you to go to every table, every chair, find your things and put them in the basket, and you let them do that, and they learn that really easy, and pretty soon they'll be doing it on their own. But it
And
works
you can
really
make
well.
it in a game too. You can say, let's see who can find the most things that they've left downstairs in the family room,
Right,
you
right.
know, and make it into a
So
positive rather than a negative.
exactly, exactly. So moving on, we are going to create specific zones. So knowing what goes where gives everyone peace of mind, and it also keeps you from having to avoid the chair of doom that is piled high with belongings. Designate and define your drop zones, or landing zones. so that all of your stuff doesn't end up on the surfaces that you use all day long. And so creating zones, it really comes in handy because you can just do one zone at a time. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you can just, you know what, I'm just going to do the TV zone, so it's got the TV and the couch and all the videos or whatever that you have. And so just create specific zones for things is really, really helpful. Janice taught me that a long time ago.
All right. The next thing is consider the room's actual purpose. Because when you consider the purpose and the layout of the rooms where clutter tends to accumulate, you can come up with solutions for that place specifically. So in the kitchen, the islands and the counters and the chairs tend to collect everything since it's the center of the home. So, rather than it just a free for all, make sure that you set decor strategically. So if you put a plant where everybody tends to put the mail and the papers and all this other stuff, they're going to have to find a different place. And hopefully it's your specified place to put them instead of putting it on the counter. And, if that doesn't work, and then why fight it? Put a basket there so they can put the papers and the things in the basket. It's all contained and it's not messy looking. I mean, that's what I think. I think if you're fighting it too much, then obviously that's a place where people want to put things, but make it contained and make it look presentable, not just a pile of stuff. And for the bedrooms, one person and we were laughing about this, suggests that you install a valet rod for clothing that's worn once, but you don't need to launder it yet. So you can let the pieces air out. And Julie and I were talking about this, and I'm like, a valet rod? I can see a hook
Valet
at the door, but I don't know about that.
just, the and I guess I'm picturing it correctly because honestly, I'm not quite sure what they mean by valet rod. What I took it as, I used to manage a clothing store and we had the big collapsible but rolling clothes racks that we would put the new clothes on and then roll it out to the floor and put them where they belong. And so it's like, okay, we're going to help you clean your closet, but you're going to have this free rolling rack in the middle of your bedroom. It's like, is that? So yeah, I didn't even Google it, but
and another option could be if folding and putting things away after doing your laundry isn't realistic for your lifestyle, be honest and buy a dedicated laundry basket. And that way you give your clean clothes somewhere to land that isn't your chair or your bed. And I shared with Julie that when I was growing up back in the 60s, we used to hang all of our clothes on the line because we didn't have an electric dryer yet. So most of the stuff that we brought in needed to be ironed, and nobody in my family liked ironing. We had probably about 4 or 5 laundry baskets of clothes that would end up in my brother's room. And you knew that they were clean because they were all in this one place. And the weird thing was is that the ironing board was set up amongst these baskets. I was telling her that didn't really work because it just became, rather than having a chair, the laundry basket was where things lived until you wanted to wear them. But one time my aunt brought her cat Rags over. For some reason that cat crapped in the basket and we didn't find them for a couple of weeks. It's like, wait a minute, I thought these were clean. What's this? Something rolls out that's dried. So sometimes that doesn't work real well. So try and keep it one basket.
hilarious. Well, the other thing that they suggest is that, you could use a nice linen spray, or I've seen people use Febreze on their clothes or whatever if they're, not ready to wash yet. And that just is, it's just wrong. We all know what Febreze smells like. So if you're like, I can wear this shirt to the party, and you spritz yourself with Febreze, and then you walk into the party, everybody's going, they don't do laundry. They only use Febreze. So be careful with that. Oh my goodness. So, all right, let's see. So they also talk about, for instance, if you have a chair in your bedroom that you constantly use, that are things are diving onto, they say just remove the chair. So if that chair has become a problem, you could just get rid of it, even if it's only temporary, and switch things up. So it's like one of the things that this lady said was a radical idea is removing the chair or table that piles up with clutter. Well, it might force you and others to put the item away. But like in Janice's house, she could do that because she has a bigger house. In my little house, it's like, if I remove a chair, where does it go? To the yard. It's a little house. So it's, oh my gosh. Anyway, but you could remove it and see if that works for you. For me, it's more of having a spot where I can hang things rather than the chair. So if you had just put a hook on the back of the door or whatever, and you can hang your not ready for prime time clothes, and so that could work.
Their next rule of thumb is to be intentional and enforce discipline. So no matter which area of the home we talk about, the fancy bins and the storage solutions are not going to magically prevent clutter from accumulating on every available surface. It's only if we have systems in place and enforce the discipline of regular resets of the spaces that we can hope to overcome the issue. So basically, they're encouraging intentional decluttering and then organizing the things that you're keeping in order to make the flow of daily activities easier and more efficient. And it will save you time and energy in the long run. And that is small doable doses. Go through your house and get rid of the things, get rid of the clothes that are in your closet that you don't wear anymore, because that's going to allow you to put things back into the closet rather than on your chair.
Right. So true. So the last rule of thumb is, if it's gotten to the point where you simply can't bring yourself to begin the whole decluttering process, hire professional help. That's what Janice and I do. We're here for you.
And we can help.
Yeah, we can help. And for different things. At abcdeclutter.com, we have, you'll have access to, or you can go to the jjsdeclutterpodcast.com, but both of them have access to the different podcasts. We have different courses that we offer. You can set a call with us, and we can help you figure out what you're going to do next. And that first call is free, and we will come up with a plan. So it really can help, because honestly, starting from where you don't know where to start from is a really difficult thing to be. So we are here for you.
But that's what they came up with to avoid that chair of doom that gathers all these things that probably have a home, but for whatever reason you just don't want to put it on the hanger and put it back where it belongs, or put it in your laundry, stick it in your clothes hamper, and just wash it again.
Right, exactly. That is what we have for you this time, and we are in the middle right now of a clothing series. So we've already released the first two episodes of that, And then we do have another 3 episodes following this for it too. And we are breaking down how to go through that closet, how to clean those clothes, how to separate those clothes, how to declutter the clothes, how to honor the clothes that you wear. And so we really invite you to binge, baby, binge. But go to abcdeclutter.com, set up a call, and Janice and I would love to help you figure out where to go
with your clothes.
So with that
or
being
anything
said,
else.
That's right. So with that being said, keep it intentional.
No, keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Keep it intentional.
And as always,
Keep decluttering. So you all have a great day, and the link for this will be in the comments.
Thanks for joining us on the JJ's Declutter podcast. If you're ready to keep simplifying, follow us for more tips and join our Facebook community to share your wins and challenges. Subscribe here because it's always more fun to declutter with friends. And thanks in advance for leaving us a review.